Good morning and welcome to an all-new episode of Hatching for Health. Today we're going to be joined by a school that is located in Clear Lake, and we're going to talk about some of the children that are there with various learning disabilities. 1 in every 68 children is actually diagnosed with autism, and it is a very serious condition. And if it is assisted early in life, it can make a huge impact. So we're going to welcome Monica Howard to the show. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you, Jessica.
Good to see you too.
Thanks for having me today.
Thank you for being here. Very good to see you on my turf. I've been at this school a number of times.
Yes, I know. It's great to be here. Inviting us is a really big deal, and we're so grateful. And your involvement at the school and bringing, just clarity to the situation that's going on with
Of
autism.
course. When we met, I know that it was right before the school is actually going to start. It was
Right.
just before August, which is whenever all the kids get back into school.
Right.
And you're currently located in the Clear Lake Webster area.
Correct.
Like NASA, okay. And the school is basically for children. You've got elementary,
Right.
you've got middle school. There was so many various ages there.
Right.
And in the different classrooms I got to visit and meet with like so many
And they loved you, by the way.
Great. I know, they were so cute. There was giving away hats and
Right.
they made me feel special.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about like how the school started and your involvement so others can learn about, this opportunity that might be at their fingertips for their own children.
Right, so the school was started about 9 years ago. There was a mama who had a son who was autistic, and he was high-functioning autistic, and just wanted a safe place for him to be able to go to school. He was struggling with being bullied and ostracized at school just because he was a little different than what the mainstream kids would consider to be okay. So she decided that she was going to start out, and she started with probably 3 students,
Really?
friends. So there's a community there's an autism community, and she just started connecting people, and so she started with 3 and grew to 68.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
And so I know that COVID had unfortunately, a big impact in the
Right.
school with its continuance. And so when that happened, essentially, it didn't dissolve necessarily, but a lot of kids
No.
ended up, I guess, learning from home in different capacities.
Right, so CCISD actually had an online program that they started during COVID,
Okay.
which is a really good thing, for the school district and to keep kids plugged into their education. However, it did impact us when they decided to keep their online program. So
course.
we saw a little decline in our numbers, but we are building those numbers back up and are doing really well and growing strong.
Of course, and what a great name. So EMA, I know for short, Excellent Minds Academy.
Yes.
And I think, honestly, that's so true. I feel like these children have brighter minds than, the child that doesn't really have a learning disability. And but I also understand like the impact of being bullied in school, not personally, but in seeing, friends with children that have had those situations. And it, not having an opportunity to go somewhere where you can avoid that, it's huge. So you guys basically give these children that because they're more on equal playing fields, and they, don't have someone looking at them, their learning curves and not being as, as quick to learn something as someone else.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about just, your experience seeing that with some of the children, and because I know you've been involved now for about 6 months, is that right? Or
Actually,
longer?
I'm about 9 weeks in.
Okay,
So,
yeah, because I met
right.
you right when you joined
Right.
to take on the director position there.
Right. So I was brought in to take us to that next level. And so what I would say we have a very diverse community. We do have about a third of our kids are autistic. A third of our children are diagnosed with a disability, some type of learning disability or disorder. And then a third of our children are actually mainstream students, but they have anxiety in the classroom. So we have, as you see, our classroom setting is very diverse. And so I think we're just a very accepting community. The kids love one another, and it's just about having a safe place to learn.
Of course.
And they're very accepting and loving and kind to one another.
And I think the amount of children you're helping now is amazing, but like the amount that you guys can help in that
Right.
community alone.
Right.
I mean, we talked about there's 40,000
40,000.
children in school.
CCISD school district alone. So
Alone.
you can imagine you have this school district, and then you have the surrounding. So then you have, that's the Webster Clear Lake area. Then you have Friendswood. Then you have Alvin. So if you were to look at that, it's a really big community of students.
Amount of students. But the point I was making, you said 40,000. You said 14% of those have actually been diagnosed clinically with some type of learning disability.
Right.
That would actually be a good fit for the school. But yet you only have 35 there now. So it's huge potential of how many people you can help.
Yes.
And I think that's like, one of the main reasons like I wanted to get you on the show and, have something that can be delivered to like for social media and really anybody out there that happens to catch it on CW39 that morning. I mean, I think that, there's so much more you can do. And that's why I've been such a big believer coming out there. And
we're so grateful for your support.
Oh, yeah, of course. And, I want to do so much more. I know that, obviously a good way for people is like open house, like to be able to come by toward the school. Like, how is that? Is that something open to the public?
Absolutely. We are always open. My business cards have my cell phone number on it. And so people can call my cell and say, hey, I'd like to come by and tour the school. And we're always open to schedule that.
Okay, that's
and
great.
We really love working with the community. So, at our school, we really depend on volunteerism. So we've implemented some new things. We've got a great security team, all volunteer. We have a lunchroom team so that our teachers that are pouring into these children that require a lot of attention, they are able to go and have lunch, kind of recoup, and then, go back into the classroom and continue to pour out on those students. So we need lunchroom volunteers to come in and help heat food up and do those things for the students and help monitor them.
Of course, and I know that was like one of the needs. I mean, I know there's many needs, but just having like a hot meal lunch program. So like if someone's watching or someone happens to hear about this and has the capability to help with that, because currently the children, bring what they have from home, right? You don't offer, meals, whether they would be, free or paid for. There's just not that option yet, because you need a team to go in there and supply that in the kitchen, but the kitchen's there.
We have a full-blown kitchen,
yeah,
so it's
have that.
A nice, huge commercial kitchen. So if there's someone in your audience that's watching that would like to volunteer to come in and have a hot lunch program, we would definitely welcome them. It'd be great.
When I came and brought Chick-fil-A, which I know it's not the healthiest of meals, but just the look on the kids' faces.
They were so excited. They still talk about the chicken nuggets and French fries.
It was adorable. I was like, oh. It just like made me want to be there every day and like bring something,
Right.
They're so just like it's so rewarding, like the way that they act. All the thank yous, like they're all so respectful, it was quite engaging for me. So what are some of the goals for the school? I know there's a lot, and a lot of it's tied to raising money.
Right.
Like what are some of the goals, like for example, year end? I mean, we're 2 months before this year comes to,
right.
to a whole.
So I think I've mentioned to you previously that 53% of our students are on tuition assistance.
Okay.
So that for this size school, that's a very large population that require assistance. And so we are trying to raise funds so that we can continue to help these families. We consider ourselves, even though we want our children to have all A's, there's 3 F's that we follow. We are faith-based, we are financially viable, and we are family focused. And so the financially viable part of that is we keep our tuition low, and then we try to provide as much assistance to these families. They're on a journey that is going to be a lifelong journey for them, and we just want to help ease those burdens.
Yeah, of course. Speaking of tuition, so I know like in Houston, I mean, it can be upwards of $15,000, $20,000 a year for a child.
Right.
Like, what is your tuition there?
It's $8,000 a year.
$8,000. Okay, that's less than $1,000 a month.
So maybe someone in your audience would say, you know what, I can sponsor a child, and we would love that.
Yeah, and y'all have had a few of those happen over the beginning of this.
We've actually had a teacher be sponsored.
Okay.
So that we could grow our staff and open up classrooms.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Right.
And you have currently, just like any, elementary, middle school, I mean, you have science, you have history, you have all of the basic, requirements and stuff for these children, to learn.
Right.
Okay.
We have all the classes. It's a regular school, 5 days a week. We have before school care, after school care, so that we can help those parents that are working. So yes, it's a full class.
Okay. And I know some of the tangible things that were of need. How's that coming along? Like the projectors, I know that was something and things like that.
Well, because of your help, Jessica.
Okay, I'm not trying to
know,
ask these
I
questions.
know, because of your help.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
like
literally.
in community of people I
Right,
asked,
when you
know.
and Ashley walked through and you could see that there was a need. And so now all of our teachers have projectors.
Oh, great. So
Right?
you got those
so
fulfilled.
we've got the projectors, and
Okay,
they all have
awesome.
projectors, and that. So we have a needs list. So
Yeah.
you know, maybe if someone were to reach out to you, I can have a needs list to them, and we can let them know exactly what we're needing in the classroom. You know, our children, we do trust-based relational intervention at our school, TBRI for short, and that's really. We feel as though if you connect with a child on a relational level, that you can help to correct behaviors, because a lot of these children are coming from places of trauma and they act out in a certain way to have a need met. So we're connecting and we're loving them where they are. We're helping them work on behaviors that would kind of help them ask for things in a different way, use their words, right? And then at that point, then they can learn. Right, and so part of that, one of the first things we do, we have little engine plates in the classroom, and they're red, green, and blue. Okay. And so they come in the classroom, and we say, okay, what's your engine on today? We want to know where our kids are emotionally. Some will come in and they didn't want to eat breakfast, you know, and so you can't learn unless you had your breakfast, and so we want to connect immediately as they walk in the door every day and kind of understand where they are. And nutrition is a really big part of that, you know, keeping blood sugar levels, kind of level across the board. And so we need snacks for the classroom, you know. Sometimes kids forget to bring their snack. We do nutrition twice a day. Okay. So we have lunch, but we also do nutrition around 9:30 in the morning and around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we don't find those slumps in our kids.
Yeah, and I want to talk more about that and how their learning, you know, improves upon what they're eating, and that's such an important thing even with the snacks. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with you.
Excellent Minds Academy is a faith-based, family-focused, and financially viable private academy in Webster, Texas. In this community alone, there are over 40,000 students. Of those 40,000 students, 12% have been diagnosed with some type of disorder or learning disability. That is 4,863 children in need of our help. Even though the need is immense, Excellent Minds Academy is the only elementary and middle school in this region who offers faith-based special classroom accommodations for autistic children, students with learning disabilities, as well as those who may experience severe anxiety in the typical classrooms of general education. Excellent Minds Academy not only infuses the Word of God into the lives of its students, but the entire staff is trained in trust-based relational intervention, or TBRI. Our entire team is well equipped to provide students from all types of backgrounds with a safe place to connect and grow. We believe that when there is a genuine connection, a pathway is formed for our staff to usher in transformational learning. Excellent Minds Academy exists to help change the world of learning for these children, but we also link arms with the families on their journey. When these children have a safe, loving environment at school, they go home happy children. This changes the dynamics of home. At Excellent Minds Academy, we believe that all children should have an excellent education, no matter the family's economic status. Over 50% of our students are part of our tuition assistance program, and we depend on donors to help us ease the financial burden for these families. In an effort to ensure our students have every academic advantage necessary to excel, we are hoping you will consider partnering with us as we help these children and their families on their journey. Hi, my name is Monica Howard. I'm the Executive Director of Excellent Minds Academy. If you'd like more information on how you can help, please reach out to me at monica.howard@excellentmindsacademy.org.
Hi, it's Jessica here with Infinity Diagnostics, located here in the heart of Houston. Follow me in, I'm going to show you our MRI machine. We have a 1.5 Tesla Siemens magnet. We're able to perform imaging on your spine and multiple other areas. So please come give us a visit for all of your MRI needs. Imagine hearing the news as a parent that your child has been diagnosed with a condition that is degenerative or life-threatening. Now imagine being told that there's little to no research for that condition, making it so difficult to even figure out the next steps. The reality is, for so many rare conditions, Just finding specialists who understand the condition and being able to make informed treatment decisions for their child is very challenging. Each episode, with the help of my network of physicians and medical resources across the U.S., I will attempt to connect the dots by bringing recognition of rare conditions and connecting families to the best treatment, clinical experts, resources, and support. I'm going to highlight these hard-to-diagnose diseases and offer in-depth awareness for families of children in the rare disease community. I believe we are all in charge of our own healthcare, and pushing for answers and creating awareness for various rare health conditions can really make the world a better place. Not only am I a huge advocate who seeks to spearhead the fight to bring rare conditions to the forefront of research, but I personally had my own rare condition, and thankfully I was cured due to early detection. My passion to help others was fueled by that experience, and it's motivated me to create the Hatching for Health show. This show gives us the opportunity to create awareness for children with hopes of finding them cures. Infinity Skincare is dedicated to making you look and feel your best. If you look good on the outside, you're going to feel good on the inside. Located in the River Oaks and Woodlands area, Infinity Med Spa is devoted to skincare, anti-aging, and rejuvenation. Our treatment options will help you look and feel your absolute best. The primary difference between a med spa and a day spa is that the estheticians at a med spa work under the directives of physicians and are able to offer a much more extensive list of services than they would be able to offer at a day spa. Your day at Infinity Med Spa can vary, depending on whether your focus is more directed towards treatments focused on relaxation, or whether your focus is more directed towards an outer rejuvenation. Here at Infinity Med Spa, we believe good health is a combination of inner health and outer beauty. When you look good on the outside, you feel good on the inside. If you're interested in learning more about the med spa services offered here at Infinity Med Spa, you can visit our website at medspainfinity.com. Welcome back to Hatching for Health. Today we are talking with Excellent Minds Academy, their director there, Miss Monica Howard, and learning all about what their school offers. So before the break, we were talking about the importance of like what they're eating while they're there, for the learning purposes of the school each day. And you guys, you have kind of a snack time of which they bring things on their own, or you have those to provide?
Yeah, they do have things that they bring from home, and we're always encouraging the parents and working with them about healthy snacks and, apples and peanut butter. But you also have those kids that, have sensory issues, and so they will only eat a certain thing. And so, but we're trying to constantly just, push protein, push the healthy snacks like peanut butter, apples, cheese, those kinds of things, so that they have that regular, stable blood sugar.
Of course. And you guys, is there like any partnerships currently that you guys have, aligned yourself with? I know that you're, again, faith-based, and there's a church out there that is a big supporter of y'all's organization, which is Life Point?
Yes, Life Point Church in League City, Pastor Josh Sharp. So he is our church is a great supporter of Excellent Minds Academy. They just believe in kingdom education, and they are awesome supporters and fundraisers for the school.
That's wonderful. And I know even right now, currently, a lot of times with the donations, they're even donating through the church to the basically to your academy.
Yes, they can make donations at golpc.org, or they can make directly to Excellent Minds Academy.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome. And there's a gentleman you mentioned, Tommy Morgan?
Yes, Tommy Thompson. Tommy Thompson is a friend of mine, and he is a mentor to me. He is very bought into the vision and mission of Excellent Minds Academy. He is the president of Open Door Mission, and he he would say that the gentlemen that he has going through his program are likely the children that didn't have an education like this. They didn't have that safe place. They were told they were bad, because they couldn't sit still in the classroom. So they didn't have the same advantages of what our children have right now. And so he would say, a lot of time that leads to addiction. And so he's working with those men to help them through those struggles.
Kind of later on in life when they didn't have the resources for the education and stuff. Okay, that's great.
Yeah. He's really wonderful. He's bought in to what we're doing, and
that's really nice to hear. I remember some of the testimonies that you had emailed me from some of the children. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like some that were in the public school district, and then how they've blossomed or bloomed into who they are already in a short time.
Right. Yes. I mean, really great stories, and you've read the majority of them. But we have some children who were actually in private academies that weren't geared towards helping kids walk through their emotions while they're in a meltdown or while they're having a rough go that morning, and where they've been in abusive situations and from a place of trauma because they've been abused in those situations, or even the verbal side of those things is very damaging. And so we've seen those kids that come in that want to hide under the desk. Right? That they don't want you to touch them. To running after you to give you a hug.
Oh my goodness,
those kinds of things. We have students who haven't been verbal, but they're really, really bright students. And within a year of being in our classrooms, and our teachers are really, really wonderful and awesome and trained in TBRI, and they love these kids. Trust me, they're not in it for the money. They're in it because they love these kids. But being in the classrooms for a year, they are speaking and doing really well.
That's amazing.
Right.
I know, it must be so rewarding for these parents to have found y'all, you know what I mean? Like for their children to come home and to see how they've progressed and where they're at. And even just, from the emotional state of what it felt like, to feel like they were, left out or bullied or whatever that meant.
The family dynamic is so different when you have these kinds of things going on in your home and things happening to your children. I have two kids who ADHD, one was severe learning disabilities with dyslexia, and they went to public school and they didn't have an option like this. And I can just tell you that if I had had what we have at Excellent Minds Academy for my kids, the whole trajectory would have changed. Our whole family environment. That's the family focused part of our mission, because we want to have that dinner time table change. Because when you're infusing, the kids with good, positive things, they're going to go home happy children. When they go home happy children, everything changes in that environment. I was that mama that was getting that call every day. There was always something, right? He couldn't sit still. We had to put him in the hall, those kinds of things. And so, when you're a child and you're hearing all those negative things about yourself, it changes you and it transfers to home.
And I know with some of the teachers there, because I did get an opportunity to meet actually every single one of them. And one of them you had mentioned she just relocated from California and, not in the best financial situation. And she, again, these salaries that they're making are, they're there because they want to be there and they know how to teach these children. They understand these disabilities. But, I know she's still working on getting a vehicle. She's, coming in on a bus to teach, children, and it's just that's such a strong heart she has for them, right? And
she loves these kids, and she is one of our greatest teachers. She is so committed to their excellence and, just making sure that they're loved well and that they're trained well in the classroom, and but all of our teachers are just bought into their future.
Of course.
And what does that look like for them?
No, it's definitely a very, very exciting thing. And there's a lot of even brothers and sisters and in the school as well, where they're both attending due to the fact that you guys go from elementary all the way to 8th grade.
We go elementary, middle school would be 8th grade, and we're hoping to start a kindergarten program. We believe in early intervention, so 2023, 2024, I'm hopeful to have a full-blown kindergarten program. But yes, we have siblings, and we have, like I said, mainstream children, and so some of those sibling sets are mainstreamed, and they come with the other student who might have a disability.
Of course. I know, actually, speaking of early intervention, I know just in reading online about how much it supports like the healthy development, for their future and their lifespan in general. Like it's such a big deal to get them in the type of programs where they're really getting the right, your classrooms right now are, 8 students,
Right
per
now
classroom.
they're running 8, but they would never be larger than 10.
Yeah, so that, that just offers so much more to, the individualized access that they have with the teachers.
Right. And these kids are really bright and they're really, capable. And so sometimes they might be functioning in 2nd grade on most subjects, but in reading, they might be on a 4th grade level.
Yeah.
The difference with our academy is that we will pull material from 4th grade and actually keep them on that target.
Yeah.
So, we're constantly propelling them forward.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you down here. I was like, let's tell this story about Excellent Minds Academy, Miss Monica Howard, and what you're doing. And, I know that you, even in your life, it's been a big change to join them. And I hope that it's, continues to be rewarding and you make a huge impact. I know you will.
It's a huge blessing.
Yeah.
So
And if people want to reach out to you directly or the school, is it excellentmindsacademy.org?
Yes, it is.
Okay, wonderful.
And then you can reach out to me directly at monica.howard@excellentmindsacademy.org.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, and thank you all for tuning in. We hope that you learned something, and feel free to reach out to us as well, and we can get you connected. We will see you right here next week at 10 a.m.